My name is Jurarbekova Laura. I am Assistant Director of Sorbonne Kazakhstan Institute of Kazakh National Pedagogical University, named after Abay. So.
Hello, my name is Kadirov Anwar, and I am head of the department of international relations. Thank you.
Kazakh National University. I'm director of the Department of International Cooperation.
Good morning. Good evening. My name is Olga Sodibor. I represent Turan University, and I'm the head of International Cooperation Office.
I am a head of UNAI Hub at Kaznu, named Al-Farabi.
Hi, good morning. I don't know if you can hear me. This is Maria Cortez from the...
Yes, we can hear you. If I may just suggest something, yes. The microphone that is in front of Mukash Mirzabayevich and Rafis doesn't work. So if you could replace it, because we can hear all of you except of Mukash Mirzabayevich and Rafis. This is the only one mic we cannot hear, if you can hear me. We cannot hear Mukash Mirzabayevich. Doesn't work.
What now?
Okay, now it's fine.
I listen. So Vladimir, we are very happy to hearing from you. So
yeah,
it's nice to have a talk with you. And I would like to welcome you from the Al-Farabi University that we are gathering today to discuss very important issue. And everyone knows that we are working as a global hub of UNAI during 2 years, and we understand that it's very honor for us, and at the same time it's very responsible for us. And as many of you know, 2 years ago we have designed a very good plans of our activity, and now we completely finished it. And according to that plan, let me just mention several milestones of that work that have been done. First of all, a lot of seminars, conferences, forums have been organized according to our plans, and this is very important that many students, many youth from Al-Farabi University have been involved for the activity under which our UNAI Hub are working. And as a result of that activity, my rector, and not just rector, team from Al-Farabi University took part at the UNAI Global Conference, which was held at Seoul in May last May, and all our activity was had accept a good estimation or good evaluation by the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. And now we are working on the new program, new projects, and according to projects, our educational policy of my university is combined with sustainable development goals. It means in all our faculties, all our students' works, diploma works, master dissertation is connecting with sustainable development goals. And now we are going to discuss the big project. It's titled Green Campus. So at the local area of Al-Farabi, Kazgugrat, we would like to build a really green campus. And then we should expand this experience to the city and for the region and for all our university life. And today I am very happy to introduce you with our colleagues from the Kazakhstani universities. And we are going to create a consortium of United Nations academical impacts. All these universities become to be member, and I'm sure that this consortium will work very hard under the Sustainable Development Goals in Kazakhstan. This is shortly what I want to tell you.
Thank you very much indeed. And now online we have New York. And New York, hello, good morning. Can you hear us?
Good morning. Can you hear us, Rafiz?
I can hear you from my phone, but I cannot hear you from the screen.
Yes.
But if you can start talking, your team, because we can hear you from my phone. Please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rafiz, and thank you, Vice Rector, for that introduction. We're very happy that you've convened this meeting once again. I think you're proving yourself to be a full hub not only on sustainability but on connectivity, and we're very grateful. I think you know all of us here, Lanis, who has been working for just about a year now on UNAI, and Vikas, who's been soldiering on from the very beginning, more than 5 years ago. I don't think we will say very much at this point, because really what we want to do is to listen. It's one of the rare opportunities that we sitting here in New York get to talk directly to farmers who we're otherwise just in email contact with. So I will ask both Lanis and Vikas if they have anything to add, and then after that, hand it back to you, and of course we're here to offer any comments or clarifications that you might need.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Actually, the main question what you would like to discuss is how the academic community and UNAI network can influence achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. And here we have online our great supporter and great champion, great pioneer, Mr. Vlastimil Samek, and he is actually greeting us from far away from Jakarta, from sunny hot Jakarta. Hello from very cold Almaty, snowy Almaty. So Vlastimil, line is yours.
Thank you very much. First, my greetings, of course, to all of you in Almaty, and very special greetings to our colleagues in New York. It's great to hear Ramu, and I think it's a great pleasure and honor for all of us to have him today online. I wouldn't say that I'm too distant from you, because you can see and hear each other, and this is, I think, something what makes many things much easier. But without any due delays, let me just focus on the theme of today's discussion. So first of all, I think we are approaching, or we have actually already in the very beginning of indeed, I would say, impressive and challenging era of the Sustainable Development Goals, because it's agenda for the next 15 years, 2016-2030 agenda. And indeed, as such, it requires a full mobilization of resources, full mobilization of commitments, but also under the auspices of UNAI, it requires a very strong commitment of the academia. So in respect of the Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, serving as a global hub on sustainability, I think that's a great responsibility, which definitely should reflect what has been done so far. There have been indeed many conferences, roundtables, events, discussions, networking, interconnecting, but this is the good beginning. But I think the main challenge is coming right now, because it's not anymore about discussions, it's more about the real world of inclusiveness. I mean, I would like to congratulate you on achieving this definitely great sort of decision to create a consortium of universities, and I do hope that this is a very good beginning of I would say, much stronger attachment to the SDGs, and much, I would say, more intensive actually involvement in the field of attaching the academia to the Sustainable Development Agenda through explaining properly the essence of the Sustainable Development Goals. I mean, globally, it's not only about Kazakhstan, and getting the academia and all the UNAI member universities, and I do hope that the number will be furthermore increasing, to get them really strongly committed to support their governments and all strata of people in the right direction in achieving the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I would stop at this moment here, because that was kind of introduction and comments. I think there are many colleagues, they would like to say something, but I've been always very strongly championing the development agenda, and I'm very proud that I'm also part of the attachment of the United Nations in Kazakhstan to the Al-Farabi Kazakh National University and the hub. So indeed, it's not only about the Al-Farabi and the consortium, it's also about the United Nations as a partner. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And now because we have global hub, global connection, let us fly to Paris. Online we have Maria Cortez, and she's the director for Sustainable Development Network. It's United Nations Sustainable Development Network, which closely works with United Nations Academic Impact. Maria, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Rafiz. Unfortunately, we need to leave in 8 minutes, so I'll be very brief so that I can hear the rest of the participants. So I actually work in the United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network. The main objective of this network is to mobilize the expertise in universities, research centers, and also civil society and the private sector, but less prioritarily so. Our interest is to mobilize the sorry, I think there is a bit of echo right now. Can you hear me? I guess yes. So our interest is, as I was saying, to mobilize the researchers, professors, precisely to think about how in each country, in each region, these goals can be implemented. We do this through our national and regional networks of universities, and the main objectives for these networks are, on the one hand, to localize, as we call it, the SDGs, which would mean to host a reflection of what do these goals mean for this specific country or for this specific region. What are the challenges that we face within this agenda, and also what are the opportunities for this region. The second objective for these networks is to educate on sustainable development. So we try to mobilize those professors that are already teaching sustainable development, but then also those that want to do it. And we have a series of materials that we put that we make available to our members to use in their teaching endeavors. On the third place, we launch what we call the solution initiatives. These are very specific projects that are meant to solve a specific challenge from this country or region. So these are many times led by university professors, and they are the result of many years of research and are at a prototype stage most of the times. And then finally, what we call the pathways for sustainable development. The idea here is to take a specific area, such as decarbonizing the economy, and to do a modeling exercise to think about how we can decarbonize a specific country. This is done through a backcasting exercise, so it's highly technical, and it's normally led by the energy modeling agency of the country. We're now launching the agriculture sustainable pathway, which would be a similar exercise, but only in the field of agriculture. So what would we need to achieve a sustainable agriculture in this particular region that can nonetheless feed the population of this region in the long run? So I'm going to stop here by just by saying that very fortunately the SDSN is now partnered with the United Nations Academic Impact, and so we hope to collaborate in the future very closely, and in particular by sharing the expertise of our members and university members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. And now we have one more guest, our friend and colleague from Paris University, from Paris, from Sorbonne. He's a director for UNAI Hub. Hello to Tom Yan, and the floor is yours. 2 minutes, please.
All right. About our activity in Paris and with all our colleagues in university, the fact is that the activity is intensive with students and with researchers. Maybe sometime we have problematics of temporalities, because we are in the long way time for in our activities for the research and the directoring of programs, and students are really focused in around 6 and 8 months. Then there is a great energy, especially at the moment of the COP21. We organized many symposiums, exhibitions, many things at that moment, because it was sustainability moment and access for all over the world that questions, and especially for the 1.5 degrees, and all was decided. But we need a structure more strong to create some bridges between every component of our hub. Then the fact is now we, after 3 years of structuration, we are involved in the structure, in the structure of the university, and all the hub is now known by every researcher of Sorbonne and the network of university. Now we try to practice a lot each subject. But our specialty is, of course, the condition of human being, and we now in Sorbonne we are trying to help more than 400 migrants who have the possibility in our university to be to have studies and to learn languages. They are engineers. And we are preparing, you know, the next step after the war in Syria.
Thank you very much indeed. And we have. I would like to remind that we are using G Global platform, so we are actually recording our event, and we hope to put it online. So let us use like G Global, Global Magic, and fly to Almaty. Online we have Mr. Karpov. He represents UNESCO, and he's again old friend of us, and we had several interesting projects with him, and probably he will say a few words. Please, the floor is yours, Sergey.
Thank you, dear colleagues and new friends in the framework of G Global. I would like to propose to discuss and focus on the problem on specific country. Like, for instance, in Kazakhstan, it's ongoing process of negotiation regarding the SDG, specifically to be supportive and to be, let's say, negotiated among all partners, academia, governmental officials, government itself, UN organizations, and so on. Of course, every specific UN agency like UNESCO have specific sustainable development goals. For instance, we could help to our country communicate sustainable development goals through relevant academic programs. For instance, UNESCO curricula of journalism education. Second, if we know that government of Kazakhstan support goal number 10, for instance, it's sustainable cities. Every academia could contribute to sustainable cities as important problem where we could cooperate together and think how our efforts could be centered around the problems, sustainable development problems, and how we could contribute. This is something I think is important. Problem-centered approach. I would say more, but I think it's quite enough to negotiate what specific goals we could work together on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sergey. It's very good issue to discuss, very interesting topic. And I believe Professor Galia Ibrayeva, who is director for UNAI Hub on Sustainable Development at Al-Farabi Kaznu, will say a few words about our strategic action plan and about our ideas how to move forward. And she will definitely address your suggestions, what you suggested a few minutes ago.
Hello again, our friend and partners of the program of academic impact. And my name is Galia Ibrayeva. It's an honor for me to participate of this international teleconference as the director of Global Hub UNAI of Sustainability. I am delighted to inform you that our UNAI team of Al-Farabi Kazakh National University has developed strategic action plan to next 2 years. This plan includes 3 parts. It's education, science, and all our professors and students' initiatives. The university takes the responsibility to become an educational center for promotion of ideas and principles of United United Nations in the context of 17th Sustainable Development Goals at the Anniversary Summit of the United Nations. And I hope our goals will be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, in Kazakh people say Rahmet. So probably in future it will be, we hope that the Kazakhstan bid for being a member of Security Council will be successful, and you will hear that word many times in New York and the UN headquarters. We have our guest from Sorbonne University Center in Almaty, which is called Sorbonne Institute, and I believe it will be very interesting to hear from our new member of our family, new like large UN family, to hear a few words from her. Thank you. And it's especially important because here in Kazakhstan we celebrate International Women's Day. So to all women, like happy Women's Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, my name is Rebecca Laura. I'm Assistant Director of Sorbonne Kazakhstan Institute, exactly name of our institute. And I'm here to present you some information about our institute. I must say I didn't know about this project. It's very new for me, but perhaps this information could be interesting for you. So, the memorandum of the establishment of Sorbonne Kazakhstan Institute was signed on September 17, 2013. Between Kazakh National Pedagogical University, named after Abay, and Sorbonne Paris City University. This international project is fully in line with the principle of the Bologna Declaration, to which Kazakhstan is a party. Establishing such a higher education institution in our country can greatly extend educational opportunities of high European standard for young people from Kazakhstan and Central Asia. The supplementary agreement dated on May 29, 2014 allowed us to start two master programs: International Dialogue in Globalized World, Specialty International Relations, and Management of Change in the Modern World, Specialty Management. 60 students commenced the studies on September 1st, 2013. These two programs allow our first students to get two diplomas at the same time: first master's degree of Kazakh National Pedagogical University, named after Abay, and second university's diploma of USPC, Sorbonne Paris City University, INALCO for International Relations, and of Paris 7 Diderot for management. So on July 12, 2015, during Rector Praliyev's official visit in Paris, another supplementary agreement, sorry for my English, supplementary agreement was signed about establishing of collaborative licenses programs: specialties management, marketing, international relations, international law, psychology, geography. This program started in September 2014. And a common declaration was signed between the Minister of Education and Science of Kazakhstan and his French counterpart on November 5, 2015. The declaration describes Sorbonne Kazakhstan Institute as a model for future projects between France and Kazakhstan. It says, I quote, "Institute serves as a platform for regional preparation and partnership with other institutions of higher education, as well as research, which a welcome partner is French Institute of Central Asia Studies, IFIAC." At present, Sorbonne Kazakhstan Institute has 104 students, which study at licenses and master's levels. In addition, a new master specialty, social psychology, is currently under development. We work on it in order to admit first students on September 2016. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And you know, within UNAI platform, we have very interesting program, what we called Model UN New Silk Way. And we have very short video, just 1 minute I would like to show you. And it's dynamic video created for our students and by our students. Please. Покажи. Tell me, why do you like Maldives? So we like it together? Okay, that's enough. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. You could see that we try to work with our students and for our initiative, which helps us to find creative, innovative ways how to deal with different issues. And let me introduce our partner, a UNAI member, which is Rurgenov, National Academy of Arts, and they are new members, and we have cooperation with them quite for a while. So I hope to hear something interesting, artistic contribution to UNAI and UNAI network. Please, floor is yours.
Thank you. I really don't don't know about the project of UNAI. Before I heard about it from our professor Rafis, and I'm really glad to be here, and want to say that this project will be better and successful if we work together. Thank you for all of you.
Thank you very much, and we hope to hear our partners at our conference with great artistic contribution and the concert one day. Maybe next time our UNAI teleconference will be with music, with national music and with national performance. And let us fly back to Paris. I could feel that Professor Jan Toma would like to say a few words, and maybe then the next word will be to United Nations headquarters to New York. Please.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to say that Sorbonne now is really linked. The link between human rights and sustainability is really strong now because we had that conference, that huge conference, and because when we arrived to share all that energy with all over the world, all the nations at the moment of beginning of December. We created some vocations for students, and you were talking about art, and Madame was talking about Sorbonne, and here in Sorbonne we think that it's really important to use that fantastic tool of 1.5 degrees that Secretary General acted with the conference, and we are supporting students now for many exhibitions of art, of sociology, of juridics, and economics and mathematics. And there is some hackathon. Hackathon, you know, it's some meetings. You share many problems about sustainability and human rights together. And we try to do some sessions. Then what I would like to propose is some kind of that. A sort of sharing, maybe a day or a session like that in Paris, because we will have a new president in 1 month, and that new president will have decided to create some better conditions now, more people working with us, and we can have creating a sort of session in Paris, if you are agree, and maybe another session in Kazakhstan to create the link between sustainability and human rights. And as the Pope said too, this is really important to make a link between all that elements, because they are the same organism, you know. And this is why with that we are creating in September.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much to Paris, and now let us fly to New York and to Mr. Ramu, who would like to contribute to our discussion. Please turn your microphone on. It's like button on the top of the screen.
Can you hear us now, Rafiz?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Thank you. We're actually we're using slightly primitive technology. We have Lee is our intern, and we've got his iPad but the Google Hangout I think is working. We're thrilled to see all of you, our old friends in Almaty. Jan Toma, bonjour, monsieur. Good to see you again. And thank you very much, Rafiz. I will not actually speak too long because the head of our department, Under Secretary General Christina Gayak, will be here in about 10 minutes or so. She was very much looking forward to joining you, and as you know, she visited Almaty a year ago and had a very memorable visit with you, Rafiz, and with the distinguished rector and vice rector. The only point I would make is that you have talked about the new Silk Way. And I think also taking up from what Jan Thomas said and what the perennial words of wisdom we get from Vlastimil, whether he's in Almaty or Jakarta, or for that matter, New York, I think we should use this as a model for the next stage of the UNAI hub in Kazno. Because we've been very well served by the Kazakh National University, being the UNAI hub on sustainability, the conferences it has done, the projects it has done, the partnerships it has forged, including with the Sustainable Development Solutions Network, and we heard from their representative also. But now we are in a completely new era where, in a sense, the possibilities for universities and for the academic community have been put forward to us by our governments. And this is important for us to realize because there is naturally a sensitivity sometimes for scholars, for researchers. They do not want to be told what to do by presidents or prime ministers or chancellors, sometimes maybe not even by rectors, because the whole spirit of academics is that intellectual freedom. So what I think the task before us is how do we create this global reservoir of ideas and of knowledge which can serve not so much a political mandate, but a mandate that comes from our own scholarship. And as you know, Rafiz, we at the United Nations are very fond of acronyms. In fact, UNAI, which we refer to, is the acronym for the United Nations Academic Impact. And I'm very grateful to a friend who spoke a little while ago saying that he'd never heard of it till Rafiz mentioned it. As a result of this conference, is let's think of not necessarily a new project, but an allied project to the Sustainability Hub, going out of this idea of the new Silk Way. And let us take that word silk, S-I-L-K, to stand for Sustainable Initiatives Linking Knowledge. So the idea is that all our knowledge in whatever field, whether it is art and music, as Jan Thomas said, or creative film, which we've seen, all this knowledge, this community of ideas is linked together through initiatives that are sustainable. In other words, we don't just talk about 2016 or 2017. We talk about initiatives that can last at least till 2030 and beyond. That's the mandate that we would like to set for ourselves here, and we look forward to our support. Let me just ask our team here if they would like to contribute anything. Denise?
Well, I would just say I would repeat Ramu's words that COSNU has been such an amazing partner, and we're so excited to now be working with the Sustainable Development Solutions Network because they help to amplify the work that the UN is trying to do here, and really the recognition that academic institutions, that we cannot do our work, we cannot achieve our goals without the work that you all are doing and without the amazing research and education and involvement with students that you all are undertaking. So we're incredibly excited by the work that you're doing in our cooperation with you, and we're very much looking forward to, as Ramu said, not just 2016 or 2017, but a continuing collaboration and deepening cooperation. So we're very much looking forward to the next few years in working with you.
Just wanted to again echo Ramu's new acronym, the Sustainable Initiatives Linking Knowledge, and we look forward to working with you in a long period. Thank you all.
Thank you. Lee, please say hello. I don't know if you can be seen. You can actually, Jan, Lee is our star French speaker, so please test him.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Vous voulez des traductions françaises, je peux aussi donner.
Enchanté.
Enchanté.
Good. Thank you so much, Lee. So, Rafiz, please let me, with your permission, turn it back to you. And in about 10 minutes, we'll have Christina with us.
Thank you very much indeed. And we have, let us come back to Almaty, to our conference room. And we have a representative of Aba University. And I believe they were like a very good support of Unite Network. And I believe we will work with them in future, and we'll hope to establish very close cooperation. Sorry, Kazakh National Agrarian University, sorry.
Okay. Kazakh National Agrarian University is one of the oldest universities in our country. Recently, we have celebrated 85th anniversary. And we have about 50 bachelor's programs, 40 master's programs, and about 35 doctoral programs. And mostly our specialties refer to sustainable development issues such as ecology, management, economics. We have 4 specialties in energy, as far as I remember, veterinary sciences, food safety, soil sciences, and others. And our university has some experience of working on United Nations project. Recently, we have trained 32 experts in agricultural areas from Africa. And this project is, as far as I know, it is a United Nations organization program. Now, at present, I believe that we have just become the member of this sustainability hub, and our university is ready to cooperate in this field. Hopefully, it will be successful, because I met here my colleagues. We have long-term professional relations with Galia Ibrayeva, with Rafiz Abazov, and I hope that this cooperation will be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and let us use our G Global Magic and our G Global initiative and fly to Jakarta. Mr. Vlastimil, please, floor is yours.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Very good, yeah. Thank you very much, Rafiz, and it's very difficult to speak after Ramu, because he is always enlightening, and he's bringing a lot of food for thought, and especially his combinations of words are amazingly great. So I'm truly appreciating that, because I think this is something what should be the driving force behind the magic of sustainable development, to make it clear and easy to understand. And if I may suggest, this message should be about the UN and I. That's the UNAI. So if I could, Ramu, just suggest that we perhaps a bit play with the words That's a nice game. I like it. And going back to the Global Hub on Sustainability, to distinguished colleagues who are present there from the Almaty-based universities and new members or members to become. In case of Sorbonne Almaty, I definitely would like also to join Professor Abazov in wishing all the best, congratulating our ladies on the upcoming International Women's Day. Let me switch to another UN official language for a while, because we have already heard English and French, so there's one more language. Коллеги, позвольте коротко перейти на русский язык, чтобы всем было понятно. Хотел только всех наших прекрасных дам поздравить с наступающим праздником 8 марта, пожелать счастья, здоровья, удачи и выразить особую благодарность вам всем за поддержку инициативы «Академическое влияние». И, конечно, за то, что вы или уже присоединились, или планируете присоединиться к академическому влиянию. За это особо благодарен от имени нашего представительства Департамента общественной информации ООН в Республике Казахстан. Спасибо, Купер Ахмед. Okay, switching back to English. Конечно, за то, что вы или уже присоединились, или планируете присоединиться к академическому влиянию. За это особо благодарен от имени нашего представительства Департамента общественной информации ООН в Республике Казахстан. Спасибо, Купер Ахмед. Okay, switching back to English. Конечно, за то, что вы или уже присоединились, или планируете присоединиться к академическому влиянию. За это особо благодарен от имени нашего представительства. Okay, we got some echoes, so I hope now you can hear me again. So just to finalize a few words before the Undersecretary General will to join us, Ms. Christina Gayak. I think we have a very ambitious agenda. It's also very clear that the message and the way how the Sustainable Development Agenda messages should be delivered should be done gently, understandably, and through the language that everybody accepts. And if I may, Professor Abazov, I see our distinguished colleague from the Tirana University, with whom we have been working together very closely, and which, despite of being very, I would say, nice lady and indeed a great supporter of all the UN initiatives, has not had the chance to talk yet. So perhaps before the Undersecretary General is with us, if I could pass mic to you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much indeed. We have our great supporter and another UNAI Hub from India. Professor Smita, can you hear us? Just can you turn on microphone, but probably have to turn off the video, so making sure that it works well. You can click on microphone, please. No, we cannot hear you. While we're working,
yeah, is it on now?
Yes, we can hear you. Close it, yes, please. Yes, you can speak now.
Yeah, right now?
Yes.
Right now? On now?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, please.
Good evening, everybody. This is Asmita. Yeah. Yeah, can you right now?
Yes.
Yeah, can you now? Okay. So we are the hub for dealing Poverty through education. This is Asmita. Yeah. Can you right now?
Yes.
Right now?
Can you turn off the other browsers?
So,
Just keep only one browser open.
Poverty through education. This is Asmita. Yeah. Can you right now?
Yes.
Right now?
Can you turn off? If you turn off all other browsers, keep just one open, our line. And can you turn off YouTube, because it's actually slows down our communication. Turn off all other browsers, keep just one open, our line. And can you turn off YouTube, because it's actually slows down our communication. Turn off all other browsers, keep just one open, our line. And can you turn off YouTube, because it's...
Yeah. Is it okay?
Yes, now it's okay.
Is it okay now?
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes. Okay, while we have some technical problem with India, let us give opportunity to our partner, Turan University, to say a few words about activities at Turan University and Turan's vision of future of UNAI. Thank you.
Again, good evening and good morning to everyone, our dear colleagues and esteemed guests who are online with us. We are really happy to be here today with the Kaznu University hosting this wonderful event, and we are really honored to be a part of UNAI and to work on the Sustainable Development Goals program. I am sure that each university is doing something either in line with SDG or apart from it that really brings the impact on society. Turan University tries to do its best in this respect, and we are sure that by corporate efforts that we are going to undertake together, we will bring more benefits to Kazakhstani society and to the world society in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for a very good, nice short presentation. And now let us fly back to New York. I just got a message as Christina Galak, Under Secretary of United Nations, is here with us, and let us hear a few words from her.
Can you
welcome.
see
Floor is
me?
yours. We can
Can
hear
you see
you
me?
and we can see you.
Good, good. I can see quite a lot of you. I just want to send you a very, very warm welcome and hello from New York. I'm sitting with Ramu and Lanis and all the colleagues here that have prepared for this connection. I see our dear friend Vlastimil as well, far away in Jakarta. Thanks to these super communications, we can be together, even if it's for 5 minutes. And I can only praise you guys for being so active. And I have very fond memories of last year's when I visited you in Kazakhstan, and we were all impressed about your determination to continue the work of promotion of the new Sustainable Development Agenda. Even before it was adopted, you were already in this fantastic track. And now that it is fully adopted and that we have entered into the era of implementation, you are dealing superb efforts of awareness and of engagement. So from our side, I can only tell you how important the work you are doing is. Unless we get the agenda promoted, we will not be having the right decisions of the different governments and international organizations to implement it, and therefore we will not be having the results that we all want to have. In fact, I think so far we have seen around the world great engagement in the promotion of the agenda from a key partner to governments and to institutions, which are civil society. And in this case, universities, and therefore your initiative is critical because you touch on those, the individuals, the young individuals, that will have to be the key owners of this agenda, and therefore those that will be in the position of benefiting the most in the years to come. So my word of thanks, my word of admiration, and my word of support, because here what we have to do in New York, in particularly the team led by Ramu and all the colleagues in DPI, is to ensure that people like you that are so engaged do have the capacity to continue working in this network type of a structure that is so critical. So I'm going to turn over to you, Rafis, for maybe, I don't know if you want to say a few things of update, but with the strong conviction that you play a critical role, and we have to be supporting you with whatever needs you have, and your network type of capacity is exactly what is needed for the promotion of the awareness of the agenda. So thanks again for having me. A big hug from here, and over to you, Rafis, for whatever comments you want to have, you want to make.
Thank you very much indeed. And Professor Mukash Murzabayevich Burkitbayev would like to say a few words to you.
Fantastic. Hello, Professor. How are you?
It's so nice that we are like in the UN, and I remember with a very warm our meeting with you and Ramu at New York at the headquarters at the United Nations, and presentation concerning our activity at the headquarters. It's so exciting for me. I thank you very much for giving to my university, to me, for making such kind of presentations. And I mentioned before that in Almaty we have created a consortium of UNAI, United Nations Academic Impact Consortium for Sustainable Development, and now at that meeting our friends from all Almaty universities here, and they agreed, and we would like to tell you as a leader of that programs that from our side we will do all our best. And every year, by day, we are involved to that agenda, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals agenda, many youth, and all our educational policy have in a good link with such goals, and every students know about that goals, and all the university activity is towards for that goals. And no, we are not along one university. No, we are team. We are consortium, and every one of the member of consortium know sure that the goals at the local university at the Almaty will be reached. I mentioned about the very important goal titled Green Campus, and we would like to expand that experience to our friends from our university and for all our city. So thank you very much to being with us today, because we were waiting this meeting and we were worrying about the communication possibility, but now during 1 hour everything was very good and exciting. So we are waiting you again in Almaty.
Yeah, I'd love to come. Can I say a few things before I hand over to you guys again? Thank you very much, Mukesh, for your determination. The fact that you have managed to build, together with so many good partners, a consortium is so telling, is so much telling of your engagement and the engagement of the whole university of the Al-Farabi University. Let me ask you two things, and in a way it's a little bit of a homework I'm asking, not only to you but to all the colleagues now that are online. I think we should do a little bit of effort on, I don't know if this is seen, on the branding. Oh yes, there you are. There you are. Now, I think the branding is critical because we will be getting more familiar, and it's so good that you guys do it in the different languages you work with. I'm sure that each one of you now has the branding on the different languages. It's such a beautiful instrument to communicate and to tell this is our agenda, friends, wherever we are, whenever we are. Second, I want to tell you something. You know, now, this year, there is nothing that happens in these headquarters or wherever the Secretary General goes or in member states related activities that doesn't have an SDG angle. This week we are celebrating the International Women's Day. Last week we remembered the International Wildlife Preservation Day. We have all the moments on this agenda, on the current agenda, they are tainted for the good with SDGs obligations and SDGs agenda. So I think we have so many opportunities to use in our outreach activities. You mentioned, for example, Green Campus. This is a fabulous SDGs related, in fact, core agenda. So I just want to encourage you, to ask you to factor the activities that you do through the SDG prism, and you will see with the time how much of these SDGs will be advancing and how much the implementation will be following. From our end here at the UN, we do that in all the activities that we do, and we have lots of them. As I mentioned, we are having this week a big week, and in particular next week with the Commission on the Status of Women on gender equality. This is a critical goal number 5. And then in a few days we will be signing the Paris Agreement. I know Jan Thomas is somewhere here. I don't know if lost in the connection, but at least aware. So our French friends know that we will bring Paris to New York, and by doing so, we will ensure that there is worldwide attention to climate action. That would be another fabulous moment. And we are also discussing, in fact, the same week we are signing the Paris Agreement, we are having a major conference on drugs, which is a key issue which affects several of the goals, including goal 16, which is so important for institutions, for a strong governance, etc. And we are then preparing for the month of of July, where we are going to have major moments of member states discussing on the implementation of the SDGs, etc., etc., etc. The agenda is almost impossible to define because it's so dense on SDG-related activities. And our objective is to ensure that everybody participates in this agenda, everybody does its part, and it is done in a decentralized manner. I'm just seeing now Plastimil in Indonesia. He's, the decentralization of the implementation of the agenda is critical. So I'm stopping here again to repeat how wonderful it is to be connected to you and how much we value what you do and how much we expect that you will continue doing so.
Thank you very much indeed. And it was a great pleasure for us to learn recently that United Nations Academic Impact Headquarters was pleased with our work during the last 2 years, and our status of KAZNU as a global hub on sustainability was extended for next 2 years. It's a great pleasure, and I hope Ramo will say a few words, if possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, just to promise you, Rafiz, that Undersecretary Anil Gayak will be signing the certificate this week, and it'll get you very pronto.
Thank you very much. Indeed. It's good to know that a certificate is already on the desk of our great friend, Christina Galak.
I will do that right away.
And on the desk of Mr. Ramo, and we are moving forward. And on our side, probably Professor Ibrahim will tell you about our great plans for next 2 years. And yeah, this.
Okay. Just now we talk about Green Campus. We have a great plan to create a new, like, smart green campus. It's a very perfect plan for our students, and we create a special website, green campus through green future through generation. And I hope we will include all our goals in the future. Okay, thank you.
All righty, so thank you very much, everyone. It was a great pleasure to see our old friends and new friends, and for more than 1 hour. And if anyone has very pressing issues, raise your hands, and if not, we will try to connect to India, to our UNAI partner hub from India. Asmita, please.
Yeah, actually, I just would like to share. Am I audible right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Please.
Yeah. I would just like to share you the new project that we did. We had a great workshop on emergency shelter design, and the aim of the workshop was to design small scalable shelters covering as many human needs as possible, which could be made up of any material or a sandwich material made from several materials including recycled products. And the objectives was that the students will be coming up with designs which they already did, and it was basically that shelters were designed which are easily transportable, readily assembled, and that they could be used in different types of emergencies, basically like floods, hurricanes, tornadoes. And this is kind of a global an issue of disasters, and so this idea of dealing with this particular issue on the academic platform, when our hub is addressing poverty too, and a disaster actually kind of leads to the poverty issues later. So this is like the mitigation in between. So the task, so what we did is that we had 4 or 5 universities. They were there on the platform, and students from all these universities, 45 students, they were guided by people from different fraternity like electrical engineers, then architects and product designers, and they came up with prototypes of these shelters which are now into kind of a presentable scale. This workshop just happened yesterday, like it just finished yesterday. So right now we are documenting all what we have got. So as I have earlier stated, that we are mostly interested in kind of projects which could be realized and materialized. So these emergency shelters which could be dealing with any kind of calamities all over the world could be showcased or could be sent to UN for then one of the prototypes. Right now at least 4 or 5 are very promising, that they could have some vendor who could actually realize that. So that was one of the agendas. But in general, like this particular workshop got on many universities at our level, and this UNAI, the flame of UNAI was kind of spread over, and right now we are gearing up again as for building the goals for our hub. We are into the process, and as soon as the thing is ready for our hub, I will be sharing it with you all. But this was a very interesting major exercise that we did with the promising results. Soon I'll share the prototype shelters, which could be, there are so many ideas that they could float on when there is water. Then there are some shelters that could be dropped off from the helicopters, and then there are some shelters which could be kind of packed, and they could be stored at one place, which could be then taken to the disaster mitigation site. So all kind of scenarios were given for almost to the 12 groups with a different, which had this different kind of students and even the mentors and the guides helping, and it has been a really fruitful exercise. It was just yesterday, therefore I wanted to share it with you. And yes, later on we will be formulating the major mandate for our hub, and we'll be sharing it. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity for pitching in this conversation.
Thank you very much to all of you for joining us in early morning in New York, in midday in Paris, in the evening in Asia, in Kazakhstan and India. So summarizing our teleconference, I would like to say we had great discussion and great vision from strategic vision from the top, some philosophical ideas from Paris, from practical suggestions from all our partners here in Almaty, in India, and also from Sustainable Development Solution Network from Paris. And we have great plans. So our next step, we will place this particular teleconference on our video link. We'll send to all of you. And we hope that if you have any suggestions for follow-up events, for follow-up actions, for follow-up discussions, please put your comments on G Global teleconference link. It will be online, and it is open for discussions in all languages, all UN languages, in English, in Russian, and French. So feel free to put your comments, and we will be happy to listen to your ideas, and we will be happy to continue collaborating with you and to meet you again in future. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you very much for your contribution, and a special thanks to our headquarters, to Christina Galak, for joining us. We know that you have a very busy schedule. We know that Mr. Ramu has also a very busy schedule, and it was great that they help us to bring together and hope to see you in future in Almaty in person, or in New York in person, or online with this kind of next teleconference. Thank you very much indeed. Okay.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye to everyone.
Well done. Super nice people. No, it's super nice people.